How many of you adopted though? How many of you adopted though?
The standard that
How many?
Let's talk about why this is a bad argument. First, as of right now, there are way more families looking to adopt healthy infants than there are healthy infants available. In an interview with AP News, CEO of the National Council for Adoption, Chuck Johnson, estimated that over 1 million families are trying to adopt at any given time. He said, quote, "No matter where they go, unless they're super lucky, they're going to be in for a long wait. They're going to be in a slow, painful process for foster care or in this massive competition for the limited number of healthy infants. And that's where the situation is ripe for fraud. There are so many families who want to adopt and so few options for them," end quote. This isn't just the case for healthy infants, it's also the case for children with Down syndrome. A study that was titled Characteristics and Perspectives of Families Waiting to Adopt a Child with Down Syndrome found that the average wait time for a family wanting to adopt a child with Down syndrome is 1 to 2 years. There are more families willing to adopt babies with Down syndrome than there are babies with Down syndrome that are being put up for adoption, which is not surprising given that some studies put the termination rate of fetuses with Down syndrome at 87%. It's also worth noting that the woman in this clip that inspired this video completely fails to recognize that putting a baby up for adoption is not synonymous with putting them into the foster care system. Most children in the foster care system actually are not up for adoption and were put into the system by the state or child protective services. They are hoping that those children can eventually be reintegrated with their birth parents. Putting up a baby for adoption does not translate into that baby going into the foster system, and to use this argument is to publicly broadcast one's own ignorance on this matter. When abortion advocates say to pro-life advocates something along the lines of, "Yeah, well, have you adopted any children?" they are missing the broader context of abortion in the US. Why would I, as someone who doesn't want to raise a child, compete with families who do want to raise children and are desperately trying to find babies to adopt? This is all, of course, in addition to the obvious matter, which is that being against abortion does not mean that one has a moral obligation to adopt a child. Just because I recognize that it's wrong to kill a baby doesn't mean I have a moral obligation to care for that baby in question.